Hey guys, and good morning. Thank you for joining us. It is once again Saturday Mega Wellness with Mega Sports. I am Dell. I am happy to have you guys with us live here on Facebook. As you guys can see, we are joined today, and you gotta know who this person is because we talk about this company and this doctor all the time. He's one of our InstaFaves, and that is Dr. Sankey with True Motion Therapy. Good morning, Dr. Sankey.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
So you are streaming live from your Charlotte office today, correct?
Correct.
All right. And you're making time this morning to spend with us, so we appreciate that. You obviously have a busy practice there. You're open on Saturdays, and you took some time out to schedule with us today. All right, we got a little bit of a delay there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and see if we can get Dr. Sankey to kind of re-log in here while I go ahead and jump into some Omega news. So let's go ahead and jump over into some Omega news. So today, I want to make sure that we go over our newest email. There's Dr. Sankey. Looks like he's back. We can say a quick hello to him again. Are you there? Oh, little technical difficulty here. Okay, let's go ahead and go into Omega News and maybe we can get that worked out here. All right, so Omega News. So first I want to start off with our summer sneaker trade-in. As you guys know, this week we launched a bunch of information this week on a lot of the new arrivals that are coming, but really we wanted to make sure that we ended July with what a lot of our customers are used to seeing and enjoying every single year with us, and that is our summer sneaker trade-in. It is our 28th year doing the summer sneaker trade-in. We did start it on Wednesday. That would be July 29th, and we are continuing it all the way through August 8th. There are some major differences this year, and I had a great interview with Craig Carlock, our CEO, that talked about the program. I'm going to give you guys a clip of that video, and then I'm going to come back and show you the actual page that I'm going to want you guys to go on to do your summer sneaker trade-in this year.
Program will start the 29th, run through the 8th, but what's different this year is it's a virtual trade-in. Customers do not need to bring their shoes to the store. We're going to do this online. It's not a Zoom call or a Microsoft Meetings Teams call, but it is an online virtual event. So you fill out a form online, and simple form, and you'll get a coupon emailed to you for 30% off of one regularly priced shoe or item. And it's absolutely a fantastic way for us to continue the tradition. We're going to pass on a lot of savings to our customers, probably more than in the past, frankly. And then we're going to just ask customers to be on their own honor to turn those shoes in. But we've got great, honest customers. And so, that'll be easy for them to pull off. That's no problem at all. And they'll be able to put those shoes in any charity of their choice, frankly.
Yep, and I'm a marketer, so I'm going to just go ahead and say it. It's a go-go. It's a give one, get one, 30% off of a regular price shoe. And I know we've got a website that is designed to explain what that is. So it's gogo.omegasports.com.
Yep.
Everyone can go to that website.
Right.
If you go to gogo.omegasports.com, it'll explain the give a shoe, get a shoe, 30% off of a regular price shoe. You just, as Craig said, you just go on there. It's got some instructions, some very simple 1, 2, 3 steps that you have to take. You just enter in your information. We're going to ask that you take a quick picture of the shoe just because it's great to show that you really are giving those shoes away. You upload that information and it'll automatically take you to a page that will give you a confirmation of that 30% off of a regular price shoe. That particular coupon, I do want to point out, I've got some details here that I want to make sure that you guys know. So the trade-in period that you can go on to gogo.omegasports.com is the 29th of July all the way through to August 8th. But the good news is that you don't have to rush to shop until August 8th. You have up until August 23rd to actually use that 30% off. Of course, we've got deals and we've got coupons that we're going to continue to keep sending out. So this does not combine with other coupons. So if you do have a shoe that you're eyeing, and of course, we've got some new arrivals coming up. If you've got a special shoe that you're eyeing, hold on to that 30% off because you can use that because this is a gift to you for giving a shoe to someone in need.
That's exactly right. And your point about new arrivals is important. One of the benefits of delaying the summer sneaker trade-in is that we could put the coupon in the market, frankly, at the same time that a lot of shoes are coming to market. And so a lot of our brands partners, the Brooks and New Balance, Saucony, Mizuno, Hoka, all our great partners, they had to delay their shoe launches because of COVID. And so a lot of those shoe launches of brand new products were delayed from this spring and early summer to late summer. So a lot of new shoes are coming out August the 1st. And so we wanted this coupon to be available for some really great shoes. This will be a fantastic deal if you're able to take advantage of it, to get some shoes that are literally hot off the truck, so to speak. I mean, right, brand spanking new and updated and better and all the rest, and then use this very attractive coupon. It's a fantastic deal for everybody.
In that interview, if you guys want to see the whole interview, I'm going to go ahead and jump into a screen share because I want to take you to our gogo.omegasports.com. It is a page that we created so that folks can go in, as Craig said, and upload your trade-in virtual. I just want to put an emphasis on that. This year with COVID, we don't want to have a bunch of shoes coming into our stores, and we don't want to have folks just coming into the stores just to drop off shoes. Of course, we want to welcome you guys to our stores for shopping, and we want to be able to help you and get you fitted for proper gear. But this year, we're going to try something different with virtual shoe trade-in. So you just go to gogo.omegasports.com. I've got the page up on the screen here. And like we said in the quick interview, it's give a shoe, get a shoe, 30% off. So as Craig said, this is probably one of the more substantial trade-in deals that we've ever done. And it is because it is a virtual year this year. So all you have to do, there's 1, 2, 3 steps here. You just enter in your form here, you put your email in, and then you take a picture of the shoe you're going to trade in, and then you just submit it, and you'll be instantly taken to an area that will give you your 30% off code that you can use on a new regular priced shoe. And as Craig said, with these new arrivals that are arriving today, starting today, you guys will have a great opportunity before the 23rd to use that 30% off. Now, this does not combine with other coupons. As you know, we've got other MegaFlex coupons that are out there and some other incentives that are out there. So this is one that you would want to use very specifically on a shoe that you really you got your eye on. So again, you can go to gogo.omegasports.com and you can get more details about that. And then what you don't see in that clip of the video, you can watch the full interview on this particular website. But if you scroll through here with me, you're also going to be you're going to also uncover that this year we're also doing a fundraising opportunity for some of the charities that we work with on a regular basis for Summer Seeker Trade-In. So this year we're doing a virtual winter sale. It's a winter in July because it kicked off at the end of July, and it's going to carry on through August 8th. And we've got some great products in here that if you are interested in the Nike Renew Run, we've got it on sale. If you are interested in picking up a North Face jacket, we've got select ones on sale at really great winter and July savings or prices, so under $50. And then we've got some Nike and we've got some Under Armour on sale. So go to gogo.omegasports.com. All the products that we have listed there, a portion of those proceeds that we get from the sales of those will actually go to the Urban Ministries, which is a great charity for those in need in a lot of our communities. It's a partnership we've had for years when it comes to Summer Seeker Trade-In. So we'll have the honor system with the virtual trade-in where you take a picture of your shoe, you submit it, and we give you 30% off of a new shoe. And then you also have the opportunity to start your holiday shopping early with our virtual winter and July sale. And then a portion of those proceeds, the money will actually go to the Urban Ministries and a few other extra charities that we work with on a regular basis for Summer Seeker Trade-In. So again, that website is gogo.omegasports.com. I do want to go ahead and show you a quick view of some of the fantastic gently used shoes. These shoes obviously have had some miles put in them. We love our customers because every time we put out a call to action for help, you guys always jump in. This is literally within the first couple of hours with us launching the Summer Seeker Trade-In that we had folks submitting the pictures of their shoes and instantly getting that 30% off on a new pair of shoes. So hopefully they're out there shopping these new arrivals. But I want to thank you guys for already participating. Again, the trade-in goes all the way until August 8th. So enjoy trading in and getting that 30% off, and you have up until the 23rd of August to use that 30% off of a regular price shoe. So we talked about new arrivals, but first I want to tell you a little bit more about our mega news here. Today we sent out an email, so I want to pull up our email today. If you haven't checked it, I'm going to walk you through it real quick. Of course, we have our MegaFlex coupon that you can count on us normally having on a regular basis. This is on running footwear. But more importantly, I want to take you to this section here. So on August 1st, we are already bringing in new shoes, but that also means that we have an opportunity to now price drop some already popular shoes that we've been carrying for a while. So if you look at your screen here, I just want to do a quick call out for the Brooks Rebel 3 is now $64.97. We've got the Brooks Cascadia 14, a great trail shoe, which is now $79.97. And then the Cascadia 14 GTX, which is that more waterproofed shoe for the low price of $94.97. So Brooks has already dropped these prices, or we've dropped these prices for Brooks today. And then, of course, the folks that are fans of Mizuno, we've got the Sky Wave Knit 3 down to $99.97. And then our Saucony fans, your Echelon 7 is now dropped even further to $79.97. So a new month with new arrivals always means we've got some new price drops as well. And then what we've been talking now for a couple of days here is the new Cloud. They've done a great job of helping to promote the Cloud X. They are excited about these new fresh colors that are coming in. They've got colors like lavender and aloe. There's a new black version that's out there in our stores. So if you are interested in the Cloud X, this is both a great running shoe and a great workout shoe as well. A great training shoe for you guys that are out there doing all kinds of multidiscipline activity. This is the shoe that you want to go to. So it looks good because, of course, with On's styling, you can count on that. And then, of course, with that Swiss engineering, you know this shoe is going to last and perform. So I just want to give a quick shout out. This is our Winston-Salem store that sent me this little boomerang of them showing off the new shoes. I see Eileen in our chat giving some love to our Winston-Salem store. She says, great customer service in Winston-Salem. Eileen, I want to thank you for joining us today. Thanks for giving that shout out to our Winston-Salem store. You, Eileen, can go check out that new Cloud X that they are modeling there in our Instagram, or I'm sorry, our boomerang version of our email today. All right, so let's jump into my Insta faves. I quickly just want to put a spotlight on a video that Nike released. I'm sure some of you may have already seen it, but I do want to play it for you guys because I think if you think about sports and you think about a sports retailer like Omega Sports, who's been in business for 42 years, this is the message that we all need to hear right now. And I just want to give kudos to the folks over at Nike for doing such a great job. So I'm going to go ahead and pull down my screen and get ready to go ahead and play the new Nike video. It is called You Can't Stop Us. If you haven't seen it, please take a quick look at it. And then I encourage you guys to share it out there, because if you are a sports fan, if you are an athlete, if you are just a parent of an athlete, this is that video that I think will tug at your heart. So you guys enjoy the video.
We're never alone. And that is our strength. Because when we're doubted, we'll play as one. When we're held back, we'll go farther and harder. If we're not taken seriously, we'll prove that wrong. And if we don't fit the sport, we'll change the sport. We know things won't always go our way.
And the world's sporting events are postponed or cancelled.
But whatever it is, we'll find a way. And when things aren't fair, we'll come together for change.
We have a responsibility
to make this world a better place.
And no matter how bad it gets, we will always come back stronger. Because nothing can stop what we can do together.
All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video from Nike. You can't stop sport. You can't stop us. That's a great message. We certainly believe in all the themes and the messages in that video. So we appreciate the opportunity to share that. I hope you guys enjoyed it and can share it as well. All right, so we were in our Insta phase. I played the Nike video. I can't ever leave my Insta phase without talking about true motion therapy. We are excited to have Dr. Clay Sankey joining us today. I want to kick off his ask a expert segment and ask me anything segment with a recent video that he just put out yesterday on carpal tunnel syndrome, which got a lot of views. So I want to go ahead and kick off our segment with him today, and then we'll bring him on and we will start our answering questions.
I'm going to take you through a stretch for the carpal ligament, which can become short and tight in carpal tunnel syndrome. Now the carpal ligament is right here. It lies right over the carpal tunnel. So you're going to take the side that hurts, place that palm flat against the wall, take the opposite hand, pads of those 3 fingers, place it under the palm side of your thumb, and you want to pull back while keeping this half of your palm flush against the wall. You're going to pull back and hold that stretch for about 30 seconds. Envision opening up that carpal ligament, opening up this part of your palm here. Hold that stretch for 30 seconds. Do it about 4 to 5 times a day. This is a nerve glide for the median nerve. It's a common nerve that gets tight in carpal tunnel syndrome. So the median nerve starts from nerve roots in your neck, then makes its way down into your hand. So we're going to tension one side as we relax the other side so as to glide that nerve through its channel. So what you're going to do is, if this is the side that hurts, you're going to start with your hand back, just like this. Start with your hand back and your head bent towards that side. You're relaxing the nerve in your neck, tensioning it in your hand, and then you're going to bring your hand up and bend your head away, tensing the nerve in your neck, relaxing it in your hand, and you're simply going to do repetitions of that movement back and forth. Since carpal tunnel is commonly seen in desk workers, it's important that we have good posture and a nice ergonomic setup at our workstation. In this picture, you can see we want to keep our shoulders relaxed. When you have your hands on your workspace, you want to make sure your elbows make a 90-degree angle. That can be adjusted by changing the height of your desk, if it allows for it, or changing the height of your chair. You also want to bring your mouse and keyboard in nice and close to you. And if you're working from a laptop, go ahead and tilt that screen back so you don't have to slouch down too much to see it. But ideally, you'd be working from a monitor. Also, be sure to stay hydrated.
All right. Well, I want to thank Dr. Clay Sankey for joining us today. I want to make sure, Dr. Sankey, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can. We tried to say hello at the beginning of the show, and that didn't work out very well. So I went on a very long Omega News delivery there. But I'm glad that we can now talk and get to know you a little bit more. So we played you as our Insta fave, as we always do. You put a lot of great content out there. We're so happy to have you live. I know you're in your office right now. You took some time out of your busy practice to schedule today's live Q&A, so we appreciate that.
Well, I'm happy to do it. Yeah, thanks for having me.
We talk about you, we brag about you, but I want people to get to know you a little bit more. And really what I want them to start with is just kind of what got you into this field of practice that you're in right now.
Yeah, so I am a chiropractor, kind of with a sports medicine slant, and yeah, I was a always active growing up. An athlete from a young age, played every sport, maybe not so great at some, a little better at others. The ones I excelled at were those kind of non-hand-eye coordination sports like running. So I ran cross country and track in high school and college. Great sports, but certainly kind of injuries is all part of it. So my first year of running high school, I got an injury. I got IT band syndrome, which I now know was IT band syndrome. But back then, I kind of saw everybody. I saw medical doctors, I saw massage, I had like reflexology done on my feet, and eventually went to like the ortho in the area, and was told I had to get like kind of minor surgery, like a little part of my IT band kind of cut out. And even 14 or 15-year-old me thought, I don't know about that. Let's maybe get another opinion. So, I kind of did some exploring and found a chiropractor who really helped me out, really taught me a lot about my body and how to take care of myself. I remember laying on his table getting treated and looking at a poster on the wall that had all the muscles and bones labeled. And I asked him, I was like, did you have to learn all of that? And he said, yeah, I had to learn all of it. And there's more. And I said, yeah, I'm never going to do that. So it's funny how things turned out. But so anyway, you really learned a lot about my body and thought it was great. And fell in love with nutrition and just health and wellness in general. And whoever would listen, I would, talk to them about that kind of stuff, because I could see a direct impact with how much time I spent, rolling out my legs and stretching and eating healthy to improvements in performance. So I saw this great connection and I wanted to share it with everybody. And I said, why don't I just make this a profession for myself? So that's kind of how it all started, just with myself being my own patient.
Yeah, I like that. I like the curiosity and the need to kind of not necessarily treat something to the extreme. You kind of did your research and then kind of fell into a curiosity that then later in life turned into a passion. So you're in the South Charlotte area, correct?
Correct. Yeah. If you're familiar with Charlotte, there's kind of like Ballantyne and South Park. We're kind of sandwiched in between those two neighborhoods.
Conveniently located down the street is a Mega Sports now.
Absolutely.
Yep. And so,
can you repeat that, Dale? You kind of cut out.
Yeah, actually. Yep. So I was just saying, how long have you been practicing there? I know it's fairly new, but not that new.
Yeah, actually, we're coming up on our 4-year anniversary. So started kind of end of July, early August, about 4 years ago, and been kind of growing ever since.
Yeah. And then, for 4 years, that's great. What would you say is the most rewarding part of your work?
Yeah, gosh, every day is something different. And, musculoskeletal health, or maybe the lack thereof, is pretty common. Musculoskeletal injuries are really common, and it's more than just a sore back. It's maybe time away from your kids. You can't play with your kids because your back hurts. You can't participate in the sports that you love because something hurts, and that can really weigh on somebody. So giving that back to somebody is just really, really rewarding. And more than anything, giving them the tools to say, hey, you have the power to kind of make these changes yourself. I'm here to facilitate that. I'm not a fixer in any way. I'm here to facilitate, you being able to take care of yourself and, showing you some stretches. I may help initiate that process, but, your body's your tool. If you're an athlete, or if you're just a human being, walking around on this earth, your body's your tool. So you should be able to do at least some general basic maintenance on yourself. You brush your teeth every day. Why not be able to do something to impact, your level of, discomfort or, perception of pain every day?
Yeah, I think what's important to learn, because I learned in our time together, is that, use the term, and I'll probably say it wrong, musculoskeletal system, because I think a lot of people, I was one of them, I think we just assume that a chiropractor just handles the spine and just, adjusts your back or crack your back, as some people would say. And, you've really kind of heightened my awareness that, someone who is a doctor of chiropractic is, they're looking at the whole body. They're looking at the whole system. There's a lot more to it than just the spine. So I want to give you a chance to kind of talk a little bit more about that, because I don't know if I assumed it, I would assume people like me assume it as well.
Mm-hmm. So chiropractic did get its start in the treatment of kind of quote the alignment of the spine, and so that's really where it came from. And there are plenty of chiropractors that continue to practice that way. They focus on treating the spine only, and that's fantastic, because there is no shortage of spine issues in this world. But where I stand as a chiropractor, and where a lot of kind of these newer docs are finding their niche, is in the treatment of what we call conservative management of musculoskeletal issues, or to complicate things even further, neuromusculoskeletal issues, kind of like we saw with that.
You're trying to make me say all those big words.
Yep. Yeah, say it 10 times fast. So like with that carpal tunnel video that you saw, there is a nervous system component, or a neural component. So neuromusculoskeletal issues, if you look at the spectrum of healthcare, we have conservative care on one side, which would be your care that is free of drugs, free of surgery, and then we can move up that ladder all the way to surgery on the far end of the spectrum. Now, certain issues only need conservative care, and it's a big risk to the patient if they move beyond that. And then certain issues need to go straight to surgery. So where we find our niche is in the conservative management, the drug-free surgery-free management of those neuromusculoskeletal issues: back pain, sprained ankles, shoulder pain, tension headaches, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Well, and of course, I got enlightened by understanding that it's a lot more than just the spine by just following you on Instagram. I mean, you're one of our Insta faves on a regular, because you're sharing great content all the time on Instagram. What started the need to share that kind of content? Because again, you've got a thriving practice in South Charlotte, but you're putting out content. I've seen everything from new stretches to kind of helping people think differently about how to, we'll actually show in a second, how to hold your child. Mm-hmm. What made you go to Instagram and start sharing that?
Yeah. So I think you're a little frozen right now. Yep, there you go. Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, right, I have a business, and I want to promote my business. And I think finding some social platform to get your name out there is really important and really helpful. But, I think it's important, if you really believe in what you do, to try to put out helpful information so people can kind of be masters of their own body and their own health. So I hope everything that I put out can be useful to somebody. And, if it's not useful, maybe they at least know, hey, this guy, kind of knows what he's talking about, hopefully. So I'll see him if something does arise. So, yes, it's to promote my business, and that's, that's great, but it's to at least get people moving and get people thinking about their body too. A lot of times people just don't think. They hold their kid and they wonder why 4 months later they have back pain. So yeah, maybe they didn't think about that. So if I can just raise some awareness, that's one of my main goals. At least getting people to maybe do one stretch a day, or if they're not doing anything, or do a little exercise here and there. If I can just keep popping up and annoying them on their Instagram feed, maybe they'll get moving a little bit more. So I hope it's useful information, and I hope it's getting to as many eyeballs as possible.
Well, Omega's happy to partner with you, because we definitely we are all about keeping people moving and staying active. I'm going to brag on you, because I think I saw a post yesterday that someone translated your video in Farsi. So you're getting a worldwide audience right now, because that content is so useful. And I know I've seen other doctors actually sharing your content, which I think is a huge compliment to your expertise and the great content that you're putting out there. We talked about the fact that we're going to go over some great Insta faves, some popular posts that you put out there. So I'm going to go ahead and have my screen pull up. Hopefully we can get the 3 screen going here. And I want to show the one that you just talked about, how to hold your All right, it should be coming up shortly. All right. Can we get our screen up? Nope, we don't have our screen up. Okay, well, talk me through, Dr. Sankey, the one where you did a do this, not this scenario.
Yeah. Yep. So essentially, if you go to my Instagram, you guys could even pull it up right now if you want to, on your own phones as you watch this. It's one of my more recent posts. I think it was maybe my second to last post. But yeah, it's got a side by side. It says, "Parents, do this," and it's, I'm holding my own child, my own 7-month-old, with a nice straight spine, and then the second picture, just to the side of it, says, "Don't do this." And it's me, what you typically see when you're, someone's holding their kid, they're kind of propping them out on their hip like this. So the thought there is, if you're going to be holding your child for, a couple hours a day, if you extrapolate that throughout the whole day, that you want to be doing it with the most, straight body as possible, least amount of stress in certain areas as you can. So, if you have to, prop your child up on one side, they're being real heavy, just make sure you're switching sides. Parents tend to have a dominant arm that they hold their kid with. It tends to be their left arm, so they can do stuff with the right hand. So make sure you're switching sides. But ideally, you keep that spine nice and straight so you're not overloading one hip versus another. And then if you swipe through that video or that that picture, you'll see 2 exercise ideas that can help you try to maintain a nice straight spine while you're holding your kids, holding your groceries, or anything like that. One video is a side bridge where you're just propped up on your elbow and your feet on one side, strengthens the core on one side, and then the other is something called a suitcase carry, where you're simply holding a heavy weight on one side, working on keeping good alignment, not shifting to one side while you hold that. So those 2 exercises, fantastic for anybody, but especially if you're going to be holding a kid all day.
Yep. So I've been kind of trying to work the system here, trying to see if we can get that video up real quick. I don't know if we've got it up yet, but if we don't, we'll move on. But if we do real quick, let's go ahead and try to pull it up. Let me see if I can manage this real quick. Let's see. Are we able to pull up the screen? There we go. All right, let me get to the right one here. All right, looks like we had the screen up and now it's coming back. We're having all kinds of fun today with our technology. All right, so just real quick, for folks that had kind of heard you walk through that, again, we encourage people to go to @TrueMotionTherapy on Instagram, where these videos are, obviously living, and people can kind of sort through them and play through them. The next one that I wanted to bring up, I know that we've looked at, and we have people who deal with this on a regular basis. And since we've got the screen up, Dr. Sankey, I'm going to go ahead and play the video. If you can kind of talk through the 3 types of sciatica, which is obviously something that a lot of people deal with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so sciatica is a singular diagnosis, but there's different causes for it. In this first video, we're showing typical management for sciatica that's related to a disc injury, a disc in the spine. So we typically do repeated movements of the spine when there is a disc issue, and that can help improve the healing of that disc and reduce the sciatica-like symptoms. The next type of sciatica that you're going to see is one that's caused by a tight piriformis muscle. Your piriformis muscle is often called the pain in the butt muscle, because it can get tight and cause significant pain in your rear end. Funny thing is, your sciatic nerve on most people goes under that muscle, and some people, your sciatic nerve actually goes through that muscle. So tightness in that muscle can cause sciatica-like symptoms as well. And this is just a stretch for the piriformis, one of my favorite stretches for that muscle. And then the next one is a nerve glide. So the sciatic nerve, just like any nerve or any other kind of muscle in the body can actually become tight and get stuck on any of those tissues that it lies next to. So this is a nerve glide, very similar to the nerve glide that we did in the carpal tunnel video for that sciatic nerve. So this is how you'd manage that. And I think the general overarching theme of this that I wanted to kind of show people is that, yeah, sciatic is a diagnosis. That's all it is. It doesn't tell you how to treat it. It doesn't tell you what's causing it. So, it takes some digging to actually find the actual cause of it. So if you just go sciatica, you Google sciatica relief, you're going to find all sorts of stuff. The likelihood that you're going to hit the nail on the head the first time finding the right thing for you is kind of low. So I just want to show that there's different approaches for different types of this, same diagnosis.
Yeah, I think what I want folks to see, and we'll quickly jump into some of the questions that were submitted, because we have some great questions that some of our followers submitted and viewers submitted, is that you've got videos that you actually will explain all the way through, or you may have some stretches that you want folks to just try out. So you pick themes, like I've seen things like, obviously, if folks have different leg length differences, so kind of stretching, because that's a common thing that people have. More desk chair mobility is one that I know. Less than 30 seconds, you can quickly get extra exercises. That's the level of content that we're talking about here. Very quick, easy to try at home, very sensible solutions for a lot of what I would say are kind of normal aches and pains in a lot of ways, or what people are generally dealing with. So I want to encourage people to go on to Instagram, go to True Motion Therapy. I'm going to go ahead and drop my screen out of here so that we can go ahead and jump into some questions. Is that okay, Dr. Sankey?
That'd be great.
All right, well, good. All right, so again, we have a lot of videos that we wanted to show because we have Insta-faves, a lot of them saved, and I would just encourage folks to go onto Instagram at True Motion Therapy and follow, and I know you guys are probably pushing out 3 or 4 videos a week. So I know it's like daily-ish is, I think, a term I've heard you say.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we've had some folks send in actually questions from the last time you did an Ask Me Anything session that we kind of held on to, and then we got some new ones as well. The first one comes from John Perry. So John, thank you for sending this question in. John, 6'4", and I've always had issues with joint stiffness in neck, lower back, knees, and ankles. Boy, he's got a lot. Playing decades of basketball has kept me in shape, but I wake up feeling 30 years older than I actually am. Does my lack of flexibility cause this, or is there any way that I can improve this easily?
Yeah, that's a good question. As we get older, our tissues, our muscles, tendons, and ligaments are just a little less compliant than they were when we were kids. So it just requires a little bit extra TLC on our part to, either warm up before an exercise, cool down afterwards, or simply kind of warm up for the day. So, really just starting with some basic self-care, whether that's general mobility work. For someone who just, they used to be an athlete, they just feel really tight all the time, a great place to start is yoga. I mean, it just teaches great body awareness, great not only mobility but stability as well. So if you need to start somewhere, I would start with yoga. And then to answer your question, is there any easy way? It might be easy. I'm not going to say it's going to be an overnight fix by any means, but any little bit that you can do every day, extrapolated over a longer period of time, is going to give you some good results.
Yeah, and as someone, I'm 6'2", so I'm not 6'4", but I'm 6'2", and I think I sometimes go with the excuse that I'm too tall for yoga, that I don't have flexibility because I'm tall, or my knees crack when I bend down because I'm tall. Is that a common thing, that people who are taller just need to stretch a little bit more, or we are just so conditioned to not doing all the proper stretching?
Well, I mean, our world is kind of built for a certain height. So if you are taller, you're probably going to be doing more, when you're interacting with stuff around you, you're going to be doing a little bit more, bending, probably getting in and out of a smaller car. That's for certain. But if you're doing yoga or something like that, I mean, your body dimensions are probably relative to someone who's a lot shorter. Yeah, if you go to bend forward and reach for your toes, you've got a little bit more like torso length probably pulling you. I don't think something like yoga would have as much of an influence on height.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
That's a
good to
good
know.
question.
All right. And then I'm going to jump to, let's go to Tess from Greensboro. She says, I'm overweight and I've been working from home more due to COVID. I'm definitely feeling more aches and pains than usual. I know losing weight would help, but I'm hoping for tips to relieve pain sooner. Any advice? I think one of your recent videos talked about working from home and kind of how you position your desk. So that might be a good place to start.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So if you're working from home, you're spending a good amount of time in one area, you want to make sure that area is set up for you, properly. So you can even go back to that carpal tunnel video and reference how to set your desk up properly. But I also have a separate video for that too. But I'll kind of hit on those key points. If you're, working from home, you want to make sure you have a desk set up. First of all, you don't want to be working from your couch or your bed or anything like that. So find yourself a nice chair, find yourself a desk that kind of fits your body type. When you're working, you want to, when your hands are kind of resting on your keyboard or whatever you're working on, you want your elbows to make a 90-degree angle. Okay? That way it's not too high, not too low. You want your screen to be ideally at about eye level, and you want to bring your keyboard and mouse in nice and close to you. And you want to be able to sit up nice and straight comfortably as well. So if you hit those checkpoints, that's a great place to start. Now that's just your home base. You want frequent movement throughout the day too. You can have the best posture, the best ergonomics in the world, but if you're not moving throughout the day, you're not greasing those hinges as the day goes on, you're going to finish the day feeling pretty achy. So definitely make sure you get that movement in. If you're overweight and you have some aches and pains, it can seem like I just have a lot of stuff to do now. I've got to, work on my diet. I've got to work on my fitness. I got to work on my sleep, like all this stuff. But if you just focus on one little thing, work on just walking a little bit more in the day. Walking, that low, steady state cardiovascular exercise, has been shown to be very beneficial for people who have aches and pains and for losing weight. That being said, if you do have pain, definitely see somebody about it. Definitely see a medical professional, because you don't have to live with that. You can get that taken care of. But it doesn't have to be a big life switch overnight. It can just be little bits every day, a little bit of walking, even if that's 5 minutes to start. You start with 5 minutes, you work your way to 10, 15, 20, and we should see some good progress there.
I mean, that's a great answer. I know for me, being taller, I needed to get something that set my laptop a little higher, which was a great thing. And then once I thought I solved that problem, then I realized I've been sitting hours and hours and I need to get up and move more. So I think those are all great tips that, are somewhat common sense, but sometimes it's nice to be reminded that, generally when we're in the office situation, we have to go from meeting to meeting and we're jumping and jumping. Now we're like Zooming and clicking on different meetings left and right that we don't necessarily remember to move as much as we need to. So I think that's a great thing to reconsider. This one, I love this question because obviously Melissa from Charlotte did some research. Either she's been with you before or she knows of you, because she asked about your anti-gravity treadmill. She would like to have you tell more about that anti-gravity treadmill that you offer at your practice there.
Yep. So first of all, our anti-gravity treadmill, the brand name is Alter G. It is a really, really cool piece of equipment for anybody dealing with any kind of injury that makes it hard to walk or run. So what you do is it's a treadmill with a bag kind of around the base of it, and you can zip yourself into it and you can adjust your body weight. So you can take your body weight down to as low as 20% of your actual body weight. So if you have a 200-pound person, you can take them down to 40 pounds and they can run or walk at that body weight, which makes it significantly easier if they have some sort of impact sensitive injury. So let's say runner's knee, Achilles tendonitis, stress reaction, shin splints, something like that. We can get somebody running at a lower body weight, reduce their impact. Usually we start about 60% of their body weight. We have them run, and we repeat that over several weeks or however long. And as they start to feel more comfortable, we can gradually increase their body weight on that treadmill so their body gets more used to it. And once we get close to that 100% body weight, then they're cleared to run on the roads. So really great way to reintroduce someone into running. Usually in a typical scenario, we can decrease somebody's volume or their intensity, the amount of miles they're running per week, their volume, or how quickly they're running those miles, those intensities. In this case, we can reduce their actual impact on the ground. So really, really cool piece of technology. It's helped a lot of our patients get back into running or walking pain-free. So really, really fortunate to have something like that.
I just want to try it.
Oh, it's wild. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. And I just want to do a shout out. I mean, again, you are a small business owner. You're investing in the best technology so that people can get the best. And I think that is a huge benefit for folks there in your area in the South Charlotte market. So I want to thank our Melissa for that great question, because clearly she's heard something about it and she wants other people to know more about it as well. Okay, well, we're coming to the end here. I know we jumped around a little bit because of some technology, but I want to go ahead and get ready to answer Jen from Greensboro. I just think this is a good question to ask because a lot of folks don't necessarily know this. Maybe if employees are injured at work, do you work with folks that are injured at work, or is this more like a sports injury requirement?
No, we work with people who are injured at work, injured at home, anything like that. People who are injured at work are typically filing some sort of claim with their health insurance. So we do work with those type of issues. Same with car accidents, fall into a similar kind of category. So yep, certainly, although we kind of have a sports medicine slant to our practice, we have many people who would not consider themselves athletes coming in for different aches and pains that they got from work, home, or in a car accident. That's a great question.
I think it's a great question, mainly because obviously if the unfortunate incident happens where someone gets injured at work, I mean, that's their livelihood. So the quicker they can get back to work, the better. And to be able to work with someone that understands the urgency of that, I think is important. So it's good you help with that as well. All right, so last question that I wanted to ask is going to come from your hometown of Charlotte. Tim from Charlotte says, what's a success story that you can share for someone that's had bad experiences with chiropractors in the past? So it looks like Tim may have had a tough experience. I know that it does happen. Is there any success or any advice you can give to Tim on kind of how to better work with your chiropractor?
Sure. Yeah. So first of all, different providers are going to be good for different people. So just because somebody had a bad experience with somebody doesn't mean that they're bad, right? I'm sure, Katie, right, who had a bad experience with, some doctor, that doctor is not a bad doctor. He's helped many, many people, I'm sure. And I'm sure that, some people have come in and they just didn't get the right vibe from me. So just because they had a bad experience with somebody else doesn't mean they're a bad provider. So I just want to start with that. So yeah, we have had people come in from other, whether it be chiropractors or medical doctors that just didn't have a good experience. And it is really rewarding to give them, that answer, especially if they've just been to so many people, give them that feeling that, all hope is not lost, that they actually can kind of help themselves. So one example that comes to mind is we had a Pilates instructor who who was having really bad shoulder pain. It couldn't take her Pilates classes or even instruct her Pilates classes. And went to one doctor who told her the issue was coming from her neck and would only treat her neck. And she didn't really see any results with that. Some of the treatments kind of hurt a little bit, and came in here, and on the first day we got her lifting her arm overhead, no problem, just with some general stretches, simply because we got the diagnosis right. And that, if she was getting her neck treated at another place and came to me, I would be less likely to treat the neck. So it's kind of, they kind of did some work for me, right? So that was really great. We got her able to practice pain-free and everything. So really, really rewarding seeing that. In general, when you're looking for a good provider, for a great place to look is their website. Look at their credentials and everything like that. Does it look like a place that you could feel comfortable? And then you can, if if you can just talk on the phone with them, or many times a doctor will, give you 15 minutes of their time to just do a free over the phone consult. Just try to get a good vibe, and if you feel like you're connecting well, they're answering your questions, then it could be a good place to start. And if after that first visit they're not giving you the kind of the answers, or the vibe that you're looking for, then find somewhere else. Too many people try to they find one and they're like, oh, this is it. This is the only answer. But if we take it to an extreme example, if you're going to get surgery, it's good to get a couple opinions.
Right.
If you're working through a simple backache, it's good to get a couple opinions, because it's your money, your time that you're putting into it. So you want to make sure you're putting it into the right place.
Yep, that's great advice. Well, I want to go ahead and close the show by just reminding folks, you are in the South Charlotte area, they can go to truemotiontherapy.com for all the information on what you provide and kind of setting appointments up. I know you have been pretty busy, but you've got opportunities for folks to continue to keep coming in as new patients. So I definitely encourage people to go to truemotiontherapy.com. And of course, continue to keep following you on Instagram. You do a great job. Great videos. I want to thank you for spending the morning with us, Dr. Sankey.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the message that you guys get out there with health and wellness and movement and everything like that. Just great local shop. Really, really happy and excited to be working with you guys.
Well, I love when local helps local. So that's what we're all about. So we want to grow a greater neighborship with all of our communities, and that is through our sports readiness and healthy betterness initiatives. So I want to give you back your day. I know you've got patients waiting for you, so I appreciate your time.
Great. Thank you, Dal. Have a good one.
All right. You too. All right. Well, we thank you guys for joining us today. There are a few more questions that we had that came through that we're going to go ahead and put together for you guys on our website. We are launching a new Play More studio in the coming weeks, where a lot of this content that we have from some of our experts and, of course, our Mega Wellness show will be living in its new home, which is our Play More studio. So be on the lookout for that in our emails. Again, we've got new arrivals. We've got new price drops that I talked about today. You can go to Omega Sports. You can check out that new Cloud X. I see that Eileen is in Winston-Salem. She loves New Balance. We've got some New Balance on sale, so definitely check that out. I want to thank you guys. Have a great Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe and stay active.